the sun. Lives inside all the pain.
Sounds good, that. We haven't seen any rain for a while, though, Riley. We'll play that in full for you after 8:30 on BBC Radio Nottingham.
Breakfast with Sparky.
BBC Radio Nottingham.
So this morning we've been talking all about the best time of day, playtime. Do you remember your playtimes at school? It was always good, wasn't it? Were you Dobby off ground? What were you playing? Were you playing Manhunt? Now, you're never too old for playtime, right? What research suggests that 89% of parents across Nottinghamshire want the government to support a coordinated plan for play for all schools. So earlier I spoke to Sarah Evans, who's a teacher at Brookside Primary School in Eastleek, one of the schools supporting this initiative, about, why playtime is so important.
Playtime is such an important part of the day for children. It allows them to regulate, to have a break from the traditional academic side of school. But playtime brings so many benefits to a child in terms of what they get back from it. So we sometimes as adults look at play and think, they're just playing. But just playing is so much more. And children spend around 20% of their time at school, at a primary school, is playtime, which is the same amount as maths and English. So what we've done here at our school, along with lots of schools in the UK, is we've started to plan for that and make play part of the curriculum. And from there, we've seen so many incredible benefits that our children get from that.
So Claire Clements is from Positive Pants, who provide one-to-one sessions to children at home and also group sessions in schools. And she joins me now. Morning, Claire.
Morning.
Positive Pants, what's that all about?
So, Positive Pants Family CIC, we are all about positive mindset and good mental health for children, parents and family, but working in a sort of preventative way.
Okay, it sounds like great fun. So, Positive Pants, what does downtime or playtime look like in your line of work?
It does vary because I go into a lot of different schools and you see some really great examples and then you see some sort of, maybe just the more what you call the kind of standard playtime. I think, this idea of play is so important for our children because, they need that time at home as well, but, away from their screens, giving them the ability to use their imagination and get creative. Instead of kind of, such structured timings with timetables and, you're going to play this for half an hour and, we're going to put this game out and that's what you're going to do. We need our children to almost get a little bit bored sometimes so that their imaginations can really spark. And that's when you see, just such amazing things from children and everyone's different. So it allows them to have their individuality as well.
Like you mentioned screens, and I feel like there's a lot of conversation about that, like the difference, the screen time is not play time. Like, just how important is it for children to have the opportunity to just play?
Oh gosh, it's just absolutely everything really, isn't it? It's how we learn. We don't just learn from sort of, looking at a board in the classroom or from books. We learn from actually doing. There's one school in particular that I work with who I love actually coming in when it's their playtime because they've got so many different things out. There's a lot of emphasis on it, but it's very free flow. So they have all of the Opal equipment out, and that means that they've got, buckets and tyres, and the kids can literally build or play with them how they want. They've got a little stage area with a little stereo, and the children are sort of changing the CDs and putting on costumes and performing on the stage. It's so lovely because you look around and there's, so many children and they're all choosing different things to do. But there is no kind of, you must do this, you've got to have tried that. You go where you naturally gravitate and then make the most of that. And it's just, just for our development really, as well as just downtime, being able to regulate ourselves, spending time bonding with our friends as well.
So how you describe it is it's like it's led by the children. Is that a real key element to what you're doing at Positive Pants?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I go into family homes and we have our sessions, they're very, very playful and fun. I bring a bag full of, for all sorts of props, and usually the children will rummage through and pick something out, and then we'll kind of go with that, to then talk about their self confidence or how they're managing their anger. But we do it in a very fun way. We even use the children's own toys. So once I know the child, what sort of things they're into, I can adapt that into the sessions so that it becomes, more about them making choices and taking responsibility for themselves, which is just more powerful than us just sitting and telling them.
Oh, well, they're naturally more interested. I mean, as a parent of two kids, they're more interested in the things they want to play with. So if they're leading it, that makes it, maybe easier for you to achieve and get them involved. And I've heard this word, Claire, Montessori. Is this similar to Montessori play?
I wouldn't say it's similar. I mean, it's a take on it. I suppose it's like taking all of those different elements. When you look at the sort of outdoor schools as well, it's taking elements of all of those things. It is, it's being more child-led and taking those concepts. But, obviously within a school, it's a bit more of a structured environment. It depends on the school. And I think this is where the government, we have to be careful when we ask for things from the government, because in theory, yes, we need that playtime, but we need to make sure it then doesn't get over-governed and you actually lose the point of having it in the first place.
So what do you make of this idea for plan to play then? How do you see it?
I think it's good. We need some framework, but it has to be agreed in consultation with all of the different elements, like you say, the Montessori schools, looking at all the different models and see which ones fits. And actually, one size doesn't fit all anyway in all schools. So, you do need to sort of take that into account. And I just hope that any decisions that are made are done in consultation with, teachers, with people that actually run these environments and really know what works best for their children.
Decisions made at ground level, not in a boardroom. Like people who are doing this every single day. I mean, Claire, that makes perfect sense. And again, and the children leading forward. Really fascinating speaking to you this morning. Thank you so much for coming on and shedding some light on that.
Thank you very much.
That's Claire Clements from Positive Pants. It's BBC Radio Nottingham.